Once you have successfully installed the Limebox ShipStation Integration bundle, there are a number of prerequisite steps that you need to perform in order to complete the setup process. So first, you would create a new ShipStation store for NetSuite. And to do that, log into your ShipStation account, head on over to Settings, under Selling Channels, Store Setup, click on Connect a Store. From this list, you can search for ShipStation and it will bring up this tile. Select the tile, specify the store name, in our case NetSuite, and click on Connect. Once that is done, it should appear under your stores list with a status of a check mark, which is for successfully connected. So the next thing you would do is head on over to your NetSuite account. From here, navigate to Setup, ShipStation Connector, Main Configuration, which is essentially a link to the General Preferences screen. From here, head on over to Custom Preferences, and you should be able to see a Limebox ShipStation Integration field group. And the first thing you would like to, or you would need to do, is to set up the connectivity between your ShipStation account and your NetSuite account. So in order to do that, you need to specify or populate these two fields, the ShipStation API key and ShipStation API secret. So the values for these fields will be available in your ShipStation account. So go over to your ShipStation account under Settings, Account, and API Settings. So under the API key section, the API key and the API secret are available. Just copy and paste that over to the corresponding fields in NetSuite. Once this has been done, click on Save. What this will do is on the next schedule for the syncing process, wherein it will retrieve certain settings and information from ShipStation, it will now know the specific ShipStation store to pull this information from. So give it a couple of minutes. After 15 to 30 minutes, head on over back to Setup, ShipStation Connector, Main Configuration, Custom Preferences, and as you can see, there are other preferences here, other settings that you can configure to tailor fit the solution to your needs. And we will go through each one right now. So the first is this default send to ShipStation checkbox. So what this is referring to is the send to ShipStation checkbox on your transaction records. So let me show you what that would look like under transaction sales, enter sales orders. So obviously you can select the transaction type you would like to use to sync orders across to ShipStation. But for this demo, let me just use the sales order. So once you have the sales order open, under the shipping sub tab, you will be able to find this ShipStation field group. And as you can see, there is a sync to ShipStation checkbox. So this checkbox controls whether or not this transaction record is to be sent across to ShipStation. So you have the ability to put in place workflows, scripts, and other customization objects in order to tick or untick this checkbox to control and manage which transactions get pushed over to ShipStation and when. And this setting essentially lets you default that checkbox to true or false. Please note that modifying this preference will only affect transactions moving forward, so it will not affect any historical transactions. The next preference available is the sync stage. So as mentioned, you can specify which transaction type you would like to use in order to sync orders from NetSuite to ShipStation. You have basically two transaction types available. You have the sales order record, and please note this is only for sales orders that have been approved. And you have the item fulfillment record. For the item fulfillment record, you have the option to use picked item fulfillments or packed item fulfillments. This is dependent on whether or not you have the pick pack ship setting enabled. So for the purpose of this demo, we'll be using the sales order record. The next integration preference we have is this use real-time webhook to retrieve ShipStation updates. So what this means is we've allowed customers to be able to receive real-time ShipStation updates by giving them the option to set up a webhook in ShipStation. So to give you a background of this solution, by default, it is facilitated by scheduled flows running in the background, which are scheduled to run in intervals of 15 minutes. So given a time frame of about 15 to 30 minutes, the flows facilitate the syncing of orders from NetSuite to ShipStation and the pulling of ShipStation order updates back to NetSuite. So for customers that require a more real-time approach to the update of shipping information, you can set this checkbox to true, and you can go ahead and set up that webhook in ShipStation. So to do this, you can go over to customization, scripting scripts, and filter by Sweetlet. And I have this filtered by bundle as well. But essentially, you need to look for this LBSL ShipStation webhook script. Open that up and head over to the deployments and select the deployment record. From this screen, copy the external URL field value. So once you have that, head on over to your ShipStation account. Under settings, go to integrations, integration partners, and select this tile, which is for webhooks. Click on add a webhook. You need to paste the external URL to this send URL, and that will tell ShipStation to send the trigger or the event details to this URL. Specify a name or description. In our case, we'll be referring to it as NetSuite Hook. Ensure that you update the trigger to on orders shipped. What this means is it will trigger the request once an order has been shipped. And ensure that you specify the corresponding store. In our case, we've set up NetSuite, so we will have it as NetSuite. Save this, and what it will look like is something like this under your webhooks section. Once that is complete, you have successfully set up the webhook in ShipStation. You should be able to start getting real-time updates into that URL. So the next preference is enabled subsidiaries, which is essentially an additional filter that allows you to specify if you need this integration to only run for certain subsidiaries. You can opt to have the parent subsidiary specified here, or Alternatively, you can specify specific subsidiaries. So the way this works is it uses internal IDs, and if you choose to enter more than one, they need to be comma separated. The next preference is this checkbox close order when canceled in ShipStation. And what that essentially does is any order canceled in ShipStation will be closed in NetSuite. So you can choose to have this enabled or disabled. The next preference is for the default ShipStation store. And what that allows you to do is specify the ShipStation store to appear on transaction records by default. So let's go into the sales order and show you where this would appear. So under the ShipStation field group, as you know, we have the sync to ShipStation checkbox. We also have a ShipStation store, which allows the user to manage which store to sync the transaction to. So you can specify this by default using this preference. So in our case, we'll be using NetSuite, since that's the store we have set up in ShipStation. So once you're happy with the preferences you've set up, click on Save, and that should be applied in the backend when the scripts and all the other customizations run for the integration. Have completed the integration preferences. The next thing you can do is setting up the mapping for the shipping items in ShipStation to the corresponding shipping method in NetSuite. So to do this, you can navigate to Setup, ShipStation Connector, and Map Shipping Methods and Items. So once in this screen, you'll be able to see this list of all the shipping items from ShipStation that the integration has automatically pulled. In order to map them to the corresponding shipping method in NetSuite, what I like to do is enable the inline editing via this toggle and essentially select the corresponding shipping method. So please note that you do not have to map everything. You basically just need to map those that you believe you will be using during this integration, because it will pull everything in your ShipStation with regards to the shipping items. So once you have mapped those shipping items successfully, you should be able to see this mapping take effect during the next order sync.